Jose Rizal first travel abroad. May 1882. Jose Rizal's first trip abroad was a clandestine journey in 1882 to Spain. Jose Rizal studied at Universidad Central de Madrid starting in 1882, pursuing degrees in medicine and philosophy and letters. Before Jose Rizal went to Spain in 1882, he had at least two significant romantic interests. His first love, Segunda Katigbak. In Rizal's own words, she was rather short, with eyes that were eloquent and ardent at times, and languid at others, rosy cheeked, with an enchanting and provocative smile that revealed every beautiful teeth and the air of a sylph. Her entire self diffused a mysterious charm.
And Leonor Valenzuela, also known as Orang, was a neighbor of Jose Rizal in Intramuros and a woman Rizal courted while studying at the University of Santo Tomas. Rizal wrote her secret letters using invisible ink made from salt and water, which could only be read when heated. Their relationship, however, was not considered very serious, with some sources suggesting that the perceived rivalry for his affection was a fabricated story by his friend, and that Rizal was also courting Leonor Rivera at the same time. Did you know that Rizal's departure for Spain was kept secret to avoid detection by the Spanish authorities and the Priors? Even his own parents did not know because his mother would not allow him to do so. Only his older brother, his uncle, his sister, Neneng, and Lucia, the Valenzuela family, Pedro Paterno, Mateo Evangelista, the Ateneo Jesuit fathers, and some intimate friends, the Jesuit priests gave him letters of recommendation to the member of their society in Barcelona. He used the name Jose Mercado.
And now, Rizal's journey began.
May 3, 1882, Rizal left the Philippines for the first time. He boarded SS Salvadora, which is a Spanish steamer headed to Singapore. Using a passport of Jose Mercado, which was procured for him by his uncle Antonio Rivera.
While on the SS Salvadora, which departed the Philippines on May 3, 1882, Jose Rizal experienced sickness and played chess with the passenger. And after 5 days of sailing, the Salvadora reached the English colony of Singapore. Jose Rizal stayed at the Hotel de la Paz.
During his 2-day stopover in Singapore in 1882, Jose Rizal toured the city by carriage, visiting landmarks like the Rappel Statue, botanical gardens, temples, and markets, and recorded his detailed observation in his journal.
May 9, 1882, the first stopover of Rizal is Singapore. He's on his way to Spain. Rizal boarded the boat Gemna to continue his trip to Spain.
May 17, 1882, the steamer de Gema made a stopover at the Point de Gale. Rizal was on board the ship and noted his first impression of the town in his diary, finding it picturesque but lonely and quiet and at the same time sad. The ship then departed from Colombo on May 18, 1882.
May 18, 1882, it was Rizal's journey to Colombo, Sri Lanka, that was important for him to improve his knowledge of the French language while he on board Friendship, Gemna.
Rizal arrived in Aden on May 27, 1882, around 8:30 a.m. during his first trip abroad. He landed at the port and made observations noting the extreme heat, the camels he saw for the first time, and the arid landscape with its unique water conservation cisterns.
June 2, 1882, he arrived at Suez Canal en route to Marseilles, seat of Seyos, the Red Sea terminal on the Seyos Canal. Rizal was impressed in the beautiful moonlight which reminded him Calamba and his family.
The ship traversed the Suez Canal from Port Said and arrived at Naples.
On June 11, 1882, Jose Rizal arrived in Naples, Italy for a 1-hour stopover.
Jose Rizal went on a brief tour, the first time he had set foot on European soil. He visited landmarks such as Mount Vesuvius and Castel San Elmo, found the city's business activity and lively people pleasing, and used the stopover to improve his French language skill. After a brief stop in Naples, the ship continued to the Marseilles where it arrived on June 12, 1882.
On June 12, 1882, Jose Rizal arrived by boat in Marseilles, France on the evening of June 12, 1882.
Rizal stayed at the Nuales Hotel. He boarded the hotel upon arriving by ship, the Gemma, and stayed for about 2.5 days before leaving for Barcelona on an express train.
He visited the famous chateau, if subject of Alexandre Dumas, the Count of Monte Cristo, and then departed Marseilles on June 15 for Barcelona by express train.
June 16, 1882, Jose Rizal arrived in Barcelona, Spain at 12 noon and checked in into the Fonda de España, which was then a boarding house. This marked the beginning of his journey. Despite an initial unfavorable impression of the city, he found a sense of freedom that inspired his first nationalist essay, Amor Patrio, published in August 1882.
Jose Rizal's first nationalistic essay was titled El Amor Patrio, written in Barcelona in 1882 under his pen name Laong Laan, and published in the first Manila bilingual newspaper, Diaryong Tagalog.
Later on, Rizal departed from Barcelona to Madrid in an express train. Jose Rizal arrived in Madrid in September 1882. He lived at Calle Amor de Dios 1315, a residence he stayed in from September 12, 1882 to May 1883, where he lived with his friend Vicente Gonzalez. This location was chosen for its proximity to his university and the Escuela de Bellas Artes de San Fernando.
Then, Jose Rizal enrolled at the Universidad Central de Madrid on November 3, 1882, pursuing 2 courses, medicine and philosophy and letters. During his time studying in Madrid, Jose Rizal was involved in a flirtatious relationship with Consuelo Ortega y Perez. Rizal used to visit home of Don Pablo Ortega y Rey every Saturday evening. He and other Filipino students play parlor games with his 2 daughters, Pilar and Consuelo.
Consuelo loved Rizal. She wrote in her diary that she knew Rizal loved her too. He did not say it. Rizal gave her flowers which she affectionately cherished.
But still, Rizal lived a simple life, engaged in student organizations like Círculo Hispano-Filipino, expanded his knowledge by visiting museums and reading widely, and began to develop his ideas for his first novel, Noli Me Tangere. He also wrote extensively, including El Amor Patrio and The Indolence of the Filipinos, and his broader understanding of human nature and his people oppressing solidified his resolve to serve his country. Thank you for watching. This is the end of our vlog.